Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are breaking out the throwback of all throwback palettes. This is the Urban Decay Naked palette and we are doing a tutorial on it. How many years has it been since somebody did a naked tutorial? Probably at least 5. I thought it would be really fun to create a little series on my channel where I do tutorials on palettes that you definitely have in your collection but like haven't used recently. You know, we're always caught up in the newest, hottest releases, and then palettes like this just go to the back of our collection and start to collect us. So I thought it would be really fun to start this series and kind of reignite our love for these, you know, really old school but really good palettes. I really enjoy doing this tutorial and just remembering how much I do love this palette. So I'm really excited to get this series off the ground, and we couldn't have done it with any other palette than the OG Naked palette. So if you want to see how I got this look on my eyes today, just keep watching. So I have just primed my eyes with the Milani eyeshadow primer and we are ready to dig into this baby. I feel like I haven't opened it in so long, but here she is. She is old, but she's still hanging in there. So the first color in this palette that I'm going to take is Naked. It's the lightest matte brown color in the palette. I'm going to take it with a Morphe M504 brush and just lightly start to build that up in the crease. And I hope you notice that this is a really fluffy brush, so we're really just trying to buff things around, not make anything harsh at all, just generally a very light crease color. I really like this color in particular because it's a very neutral brown. It's not warm, it's not cool, it's just, it has a very neutral undertone. Okay, now that that's built up, I'm going to take the Morphe M433 brush. This is just a bit of a denser brush, so we're going to take the shade Buck, which is the darker matte brown color, and we're going to be packing that on our outer portion of our eyelid. So just taking it again on that outer portion of the eyelid and just flicking it upwards, just trying to blend it in with that original Naked shade. You know what, I forgot how blendable and nice to use these shadows are. I haven't touched this Naked palette in honestly a really long time, and I forgot how nice the Urban Decay shadows are. Okay, so now that that's built up to my liking, I'm gonna go back in with that original Morphe brush and just take a little bit more of Naked and just ensure everything's blended out perfectly. So for the lid color, there is a ton of options that you can go for and still make it a very everyday wearable look. You have Sin, which is a really pretty champagne color. You have Sidecar, which is a light bronze, but it does have silver glitter in it. Half Baked, which is a gorgeous, just true gold color. And then Smog, which again, that kind of gets a little bit more on the darker side of the spectrum, but it is a really nice bronze color. I also really like Toasted. It's a really unique, like pinky bronze colors, but that I would probably say like that and Smog are really better for like amping it up at night, but also you can still wear it into the office and on an everyday basis too. Using Sin all over the lid, as you can see, it's a pretty worn down shadow. That was my favorite thing to do, but I feel like with the green and the gold jewelry that I have going on, I have to use Half Baked on my lid today. So I'm going to take a Sigma E55 brush and just take Half Baked on my brush and start applying that all over the lid. And I'm not taking it all the way out to my outer portion. I'm stopping about like 2/3 in just because we built that Buck color up in the outer V and I want that to still stay there. So I'm really happy how that Half Baked color looks on my eyes. I feel like it really does make my brown eyes pop. Usually golds do that for brown eyes. And just to be a bit of a perfectionist, I'm gonna go back in with Naked again with that fluffy Morphe brush, just making sure everything is perfectly blended. I'm also just gonna go quickly in and just touch that Buck color up in the outer V. Then for a brow bone and inner corner highlight, I'm going to take the shade Virgin with a Morphe JH42 brush and just hit my inner corners with the shade. Even if I'm using a completely separate palette for my eye look, I will frequently just open up this palette and use Virgin just to pop it in my inner corners. I think it is honestly one of the best and most brightening inner corner highlights I have ever come across. I'm just gonna take a little bit onto the lid as well. I feel like just taking it a little bit into the lid really helps open up the eyes, and just fusing it with that gold shadow is a really pretty look. And then just taking it on the brow bone as well. I actually don't mind taking this on the brow bone because it's a very satiny finish and I think it looks really pretty. So at this point you do have the option to take either Naked or Buck underneath your lash line. I think I'm just gonna do it just to show you guys how it would look, but also you can completely leave it as is and call it a day, slap on some mascara and walk right out the door. So I think I'm gonna first take a little bit of Naked on the Morphe JH39 brush and start in my outer corner and just starting to fuse it with the color we have on our eyelids, just to kind of connect it, and then start to bring it down towards the inner corner. But I'm not going to bring it that far in. I'm going to probably stop maybe 2/3 of the way, just because I don't really want to close in my eyes. I still want it to be fairly open. Again, this is an everyday look. If you want me to do, you know, a more vamped up, you know, evening look with this palette, we can definitely go there. There's a lot of options, especially on like the latter half of the palette. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other eye. Again, just connecting at first the shadow that we have on the outer corner of our eye, and then dragging it in towards the inner corner. And we just do this to give our eyes a little bit more definition, make the makeup look a little bit more complete. And also to finish it off, you could consider doing a little bit of a liner using Dark Horse on, you know, the upper eyelid, but I think I'm gonna call it done at this point. But there are so many options using this palette just for everyday looks. They're such good shadows. I'm really surprised with how much I really enjoyed using this palette again. Even though it is old, potentially expired, but I mean, I've never had like a bad eye reaction to it. It was nice to like have a nostalgic moment with the Naked palette and use it again. So I'm gonna quickly do my mascara off camera and then I'll come back and we can talk about the finished result. Okay, so this is the finished look if you wanna just take a minute, admire it. But I really enjoyed doing this tutorial. I loved breaking out this throwback palette. I think it was just so nice to use it again. I kind of forgot about it. I mean, it's one of the first palettes I ever got, so it was nice to have a bit of a throwback moment with it. So if you guys want to continue seeing this series with throwback palettes, you know, Naked 2, Naked 3, the Lorac Pro palettes, the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, anything you can think of, definitely let me know in the comments and I will get it done for you. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it and comment down below what other palettes you want me to incorporate into this series. And of course, subscribe if you're not subscribed and join the family here. So that's it for today's video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys.